Hi, this is Takashi from Jazz Love Japan. Today, I just want to feature one album, which is Reissue. I think it's very, very interesting and very rare. I already talked about the Wave Jazz Classics series a lot, right? And this is one of the Wave Jazz Classics series. But it's not the Fantasy US reissue, like a Prestige, Riverside, and the rest. But the Japanese, jazz reissued. And okay, I'll just show you the sample here. This is my first time to obtain this one, very interesting. This is the Reader's Idea Far East Coast Jazz. Yes. And this is the reissue by the Wave Japan, one of the Wave Jazz Classics series in 1994. And this album was originally released here in Japan by the King Record. King Record, before they started reissuing the Blue Note titles in the 70s. In the 60s, they were releasing a lot of Japanese jazz records. Yeah, and this is one of them. So King, before the Blue Note reissues, I think they were just specialized in the jazz, which I think is very, very interesting, and not many jazz collectors outside of Japan know about the fact, right? And this album, the title is, as I said, the Reader's Idea, Swing Journal. Swing Journal, as you know, was one of the biggest jazz magazine here in Japan. There is no more, Swing Journal right now. But during the 60s, even the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, Swing Journal was the biggest jazz magazine here in Japan. And the Swing Journal, produced this album with the King Record. The Reader's Idea. The title is Reader's Idea. Swing Journal presents the Reader's Idea, the Far East Coast Jazz. So this is a compilation album, the session album by the legendary jazz musicians at that time in the 60s, because it was released in 1960, yes, by the King Record. And the jazz musicians got together, like jam sessions recorded in Tokyo and compiled by the King Record at that time. And they were just playing the the popular jazz titles like Morning and the rest of the jazz titles, but some, I think, the original tracks by the Japanese jazz musicians, like Hideo Shiraki. Yeah, I think his bands play here a lot of titles. But anyway, some other jazz musicians, the legendary jazz musicians here in Japan at that time, before the TBM era. So I think it's a kind of a rare rare session, because TBM now is very, very popular outside of Japan, but not like this one, the King Record Jazz. So Wave, I think, in the 90s did a great job to introduce these King Record Jazz titles. And I think this is the liner note, and at that time they reissued, released many titles. I think more than 10 titles, I think. Yeah, although most of the titles and reissues here, I think very difficult for you to find them on the market. Even this one is very difficult. And what they did with this King Record Jazz reissue series by the Wave Jazz Classics series, is that they restored the original jacket design like this. And originally it was flipback sleeve. So they restored that too, let me show you. Like this, if you look at the back side, yeah, it's a flip back, sleeve. And the color and the font, there's no liner note, but at the back of the sleeve, they just printed the liner note here. So that's the thing, originally it was like this. And the label design also, I love this label design, very classic, blue label, blue and the gold, because of the reflection, I don't know whether you can see this font. Okay, let me just put it out. Yeah, like this, the gold fonts, very classic and gorgeous. Yes, and also this one is funny. Since the flip back sleeve is not that strong, yeah, not that strong, but it's laminated, very gorgeous. Yeah, it does look gorgeous, but it's not that strong. So they also put, originally, they also put this one, transparent plastic, very solid plastic protecting, outer sleeve, which I think is very interesting. And the usual, outer sleeve, like this, yes, with the round sticker, yeah. So I think, this King Record Jazz reissues by the Wave Japan, Wave Jazz Classics series, is very, very rare. And I don't think, many jazz collectors outside of Japan know. Yeah. And the sessions present here are very good. Very good. And the sound quality is amazingly superb, They use the original master tape from the King Record, and they remastered it. And the remastering and the cutting were done by one of the legendary, jazz, legendary sound engineers called Akira Makino. Yes, he's the one, remastering and cutting this one. And the pressing, of course, was done by the Toyo Kasei. So the pressing quality is just amazing, and the sound quality, as I said, right now, is just amazing. Yes, they just play the hard bop here, the Japanese hard bop. So in case you don't know it, it's better for you to dig that too. One of the Wave Jazz Classics series titles for the King Record Jazz in the 60s. Yes, that's it for today. I hope you like it. Just stay safe, healthy, and be connected with the music we love, of course, the jazz. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.